I didn't call it discipline, I didn't call it motivation, I didn't even call it self-improvement, I called it an experiment, because that's the only honest word for what I did. For 30 days I removed noise, not just social media, not just people, but stimulation itself. The white room isn't a place, it's a condition. A state where your mind is no longer protected by distraction, no dopamine padding, no emotional anesthesia, just you and the raw machinery of your thoughts. And here's the part nobody tells you. The first thing that breaks isn't your habits, it's your identity. Day one wasn't dramatic. It was uncomfortable in a boring, humiliating way. My brain kept reaching for something, anything to escape silence. That's when I realized how little control most of us actually have. We don't think. We react. We don't choose focus. We're pulled by it. The white room doesn't attack you. It exposes you. By day 3, something darker showed up. Resistance. Not laziness, resistance. My mind started manufacturing excuses that sounded intelligent. This isn't sustainable. You're overdoing it. Normal people don't live like this. That's not logic. That's self-preservation. Your brain's primary job is not growth. It's survival. And growth feels like death to an old identity. Around day 7, time slowed down. Not metaphorically, neurologically. When you remove constant stimulation, your brain stops fast-forwarding life. Minutes become heavier. Thoughts become longer. And that's when the real discomfort begins. Because now you can't outrun yourself. Every insecurity you buried under entertainment, every unresolved emotion you postponed with productivity, it all walks into the room and sits across from you. No music, no scrolling, no escape. Most people would quit here, not because it's painful, but because it's honest. The white room forces a confrontation with who you actually are when nobody is watching and nothing is rewarding you. Somewhere between day 10 and day 14, a strange shift happened. My thoughts became colder, not emotionally numb but precise. Less noise, fewer internal arguments. When you stop feeding the brain cheap stimulation, it reallocates energy. Focus sharpens, impulses weaken. You start noticing how predictable you used to be. Same urges, same reactions, same emotional loops, playing on repeat like a badly written script. And here's the terrifying realization. Most people live and die inside those loops without ever realizing they had a choice. By the 3rd week, discipline stopped feeling heroic and started feeling normal. That's when I understood the biggest lie in self-improvement culture. Change doesn't come from intensity, it comes from environment. When you design conditions that remove temptation instead of fighting it, willpower becomes irrelevant. The white room isn't about being strong, it's about being strategic. You're not forcing the mind, you're cornering it. And once the mind realizes there's no escape hatch, it adapts, faster than you think. By day 25, something subtle but dangerous emerged: emotional neutrality. I wasn't happier, I wasn't sadder, I was stable. Decisions became easier because they weren't negotiated with emotion. I could sit with discomfort without dramatizing it. That's real power, not confidence, not motivation, but emotional non-reactivity. The ability to feel an urge and not obey it, to experience stress without becoming it. This is where most advice gets it wrong. They tell you to add things, habits, routines, affirmations. The white room taught me the opposite. Subtraction is the real upgrade. Remove enough noise, and the mind organizes itself. Remove enough comfort, and clarity replaces confusion. On day 30, nothing magical happened. No cinematic moment, no revelation, just a quiet certainty. I was no longer negotiating with myself. The inner chaos that used to drain energy was gone. And that's the real transformation people miss. You don't become smarter, you become quieter inside. And a quiet mind is lethal in a loud world. The white room didn't make me better than anyone else. It made me harder to manipulate, harder to distract, harder to control. And that's why this method scares people. Because it doesn't sell motivation. It removes dependency. If you take one thing from this, let it be this. Your mind is not broken. It's overstimulated. And when you strip life down to its bare essentials, you don't lose yourself. You finally meet yourself.